Fast, Brick Studios here, and welcome back, guys, to the continuation of building Springfield. And we are back once again, guys. Week number 16 to building Springfield. But as always, before we dive in any further, I do quickly want to say, if you have not yet dropped a like on the video, go ahead and do so. And while you're down there, subscribe as well. It would go a long way helping me out and would help you out to know when I will upload another video. And now with that being said, let's talk about Springfield because a lot has changed since week number 15. First things first, let's discuss the size that I want Springfield to be. This right here will be half of Springfield. What we're going to be having is another one of these kind of tables placed in front, and that right there would be the full scale of this mock. Which once we do get that second table, and once we do need it to expand Springfield even further, we'll be placing all that in the back corner of the LEGO room. Next point up is what are we going to be focusing upon in this week's episode? And to answer that, we're really going to be all over the place. We're going to be building town square, more of the railroad, more kind of construction with the roads, figuring out more of the layouts. We're going to see what kind of progress are we able to make. And with all of that being in mind, let's take a closer look at all of the progress since week number 15. Starting to work our way from the outside in, you guys can see that I have started to place this small chunk of grass going right here. This chunk will be expanded across the entire perimeter of Springfield and will serve as the base for the railroad. And as you guys know from the previous video, I've said that we'll be having a train running around this entire mock. And in addition to having this added in track, we'll as well be blending it, adding some foliage, rocks, and all of that, and perhaps even adding in some Easter eggs. So if you guys have any other ideas in terms of what else we can add around the perimeter of Springfield, make sure to leave them down in the comments section below. Moving a layer inwards, we have the road. Not too long ago, LEGO introduced a brand new road system, and this system right here is honestly quite perfect for my Springfield layout. It's very customizable and has a lot of potential going on for it. That being said, I've started to use the road as kind of a template at this point for where I wanted what buildings to go. And so right here, we will be placing Moe's Tavern, right next to it, King Toot's Music Store, and across from it, Town Square. My intention is to have smaller buildings up in this row here, and as we move backwards, gradually, the buildings get taller and taller, and in doing so, no building is going to be covering up anything, and everything should be seen like from a front-on perspective. Moving another layer inwards, we have Moe's Tavern. I did take out a good chunk of like the back interior that we originally had with this, but that is because I am changing up a couple of things within the actual interior to work with this newer layout of Springfield and this brand new idea that I have with it. But apart from that there, I've as well raised Moe's Tavern by 2 plates. And that is to accommodate for this brand new road system, which in this case, it had to have been done. But I am happy that it had to have been done because here, now as you guys can see, we're going to be having 2 plate sidewalks. This is the first plate, and then above it to have that nice kind of tiled off finish, we'll be having another plate, and the sidewalks will be taller, which would allow us to have gutters, and a lot more smaller details going on in between. Since week number 15, I have built up the walls a lot more, and I have added in a TV going into the inside. As goes for the Springfield Penitentiary, I'm sure you guys have seen the teaser of it in the previous video, but here's a closer up shot of this build, and it is a facade. We'll be having the same buildings, it's just that some will be in the facade style. I have gotten a great concept idea of this from Universal Studios. And the current plan is to have this silhouette of the mountain going behind all of these facades. And that is everything new that we have planned or done. But without any further ado, let's continue building Springfield once more and see how much more progress are we able to make. And we are back with the updates. I have quite a bit to show you guys here, so without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. You guys can see we have gotten the railroad a lot more complete. While not entirely complete, a lot more complete, when compared especially to what we previously had that really just looked bare bones. I have as well added in some foliage at the perimeter of Springfield, because with it being such a green town, it practically requires it. Opposite to the foliage, there are some streetlights. And I have changed it out slightly from the official LEGO design, from solar panels to no solar panels, because Springfield runs on nuclear energy. In terms of town square, we have gotten a solid chunk of it all built up, utilizing the very same techniques that we had with the prior two Simpsons sets, and making it as consistent as possible with that style. The only thing missing is the actual statue of Jebediah going right in the center, which we'll be building in next week's episode, so stay tuned for that there. I've as well attached some more street adapters, so we could later place more buildings. I think it will also be nice to add some LEGO rats flowing into Moe's Tavern to capture a classic Simpsons moment.
Aw, jeez. Milhouse, how could you let this happen? You were supposed to be the night watchman.
I was watching. I saw the whole thing. First it started falling over, then it fell over.
Wow. I wonder where all the rats are gonna go.
Okay, everybody tuck your pants into your socks.
But that right there is all of the progress that we were able to get done within this week's episode. So without any further ado, let's move out into the outro and finish off week number 16. And there we are, guys, at the end of week number 16 to be building the LEGO Simpsons Springfield. That being said, this week was more of an expansion week into getting Springfield more built up, such as getting Town Square in place, getting the beginnings of the railroad complete, and getting more of the road kind of figured out and all added in. Next week, what we're going to be doing is really continuing upon those expansions that we've started in this week's episode. Continuing with building up Town Square, get that attached to the road, get more of the road built up, and expand anything else that we could possibly expand before we have to make yet another Bricklink order. So, still a lot to go, still a lot of building to go, but ultimately, we are building up to what was originally my vision that I had ever since LEGO The Simpsons was first announced. We go a long time back. But with all of that being considered, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, helping me out and notifying you to when I will upload another video. And comment down below in the comment section of what are your guys' thoughts on how Springfield is turning out so far. And with all of that being said, keep on building, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.